What's your name and occupation?
My first and last name, or just what you call me?
Just what I call you.
Miss Wilson, and I am a behavior interventionist, but everyone calls me a dean.
Okay. What made you want to be a behavior interventionist?
I was an English and social studies teacher for 10 years and had worked in schools for 15 years before that. And I just found that as a classroom teacher, I was always, I felt like I spent more time talking to students about what was going on in their life, and I found more joy doing that. And I feel like I had a lot of kids in my class during lunch who were misunderstood, or at the last school I worked at, I was predominantly white, so I had a lot of Black students in my room, queer students in my room, just students who were always getting in trouble for just being themselves, and just the staff didn't take time to really understand them. And so I was actually looking to leave teaching and be a therapist, and a mentor of mine said, "What about Oakland? They have this position available that I think you'd be really good at." And I wanted to work one-on-one with students, helping them to find their story, helping them to see their potential, and also coaching teachers about the kind of things that students are going through. And so I get to do both of those.
What's the hardest part of your job?
I think the hardest part of my job is when I care very deeply about the students, but at the same time we might have a good relationship, but I also have to keep them accountable, right? Like the goal is that they go to school and they hopefully are learning more about themselves and making plans for themselves while they're here, and setting goals for themselves and feeling success. And I think it's hard for students to understand that I can care and also have expectations that they're students. And so I think the hardest part is just the backlash, or like how much, yeah. I don't know if that's the hardest. I think it's hard finding a balance of knowing when to lean in with some people. Maybe the hardest part of my job is seeing students give up on themselves. It's probably the hardest. Whether they drop out or just don't come to school or don't have hope that they can graduate, that's probably the hardest on my spirit.
When did you know this career was for you?
School was always my safe place. It wasn't safe for me to be at my house when I was a kid, and my teachers really changed my life. When I graduated high school, my parents didn't want to come to my graduation, but my teachers were there. And so I wanted to give back, and I wanted to be where I always felt safe.
What's the easiest part of your job?
The kids.
Tell me about your favorite part of your job.
My favorite part of my job is the little day-to-day things, like asking Keyonna to tell me 2 positive things from the day, and to see new students come that don't know anybody and then make friends and thrive, or have students in my office saying they just want to be left alone, want no one to talk to them, but then end up finding a community of people here, and then over time they don't need to come check in with me as much because now they have friends and they're too cool to talk to me. So I think that's probably the most fun, just playing around and joking with people and laughing and getting to know each of the students.